and I was laying down with my daughter. I forgot that I had the stuff in my pocket, and the straw fell out my pocket. And while me and her were playing on the bed, she must have found it. I didn't realize that it fell out of my pocket. And she put it in her mouth. But mind you, when I first found her, I didn't know that yet. So she's like watching cartoons on my phone, and I look at her and she's just like flat down on the bed. So I'm like, okay, come on. I'm thinking she's tired. She fell asleep. So I'm going to flip her around to change her diaper. And when I grab her, I noticed immediately that something was off.
Yeah.
So I started freaking out. I called the ambulance immediately. Okay. Well, thank you for having me here today. I'm going to read my diary. So it's been a long journey, and I can say today that my time in UXCI has changed me for the better. Ooh, I'm nervous. I'm sorry. Okay. For the first 5 months before I moved to the Maryland Baker program, I was in a very dark place. I was ashamed of who I was. I hated myself. I was hurting so much for what I'd done. I was disappointed in the choices I made. I chose to put my addiction first, and I became irresponsible, comfortable, reckless, and sloppy. Because of that and the horrible choices I made, I hurt the people that mattered the most to me. I hurt my family, but most importantly, I hurt my kids. I almost lost my beautiful little girl, my daughter, to an overdose of. I did the worst thing a parent can do, put my child in danger. I was so terrified, and I screamed to God to please save my baby. At that moment, I knew right away I would never touch another drug in my life. I would have never forgiven myself if I'd lost her that night. I thank God every day she's still here. I hate so much for what happened, and having to leave my baby in the hospital that night broke me into a million pieces. I take full responsibility for what I've done. If I could turn back the hands of time, I would, but I can't. I can just move forward and do better, make things right, be the best version of myself for my 2 kids. They truly mean the world to me, and I'll do whatever it takes to be the mother they need. I am very fortunate for the time I got and so grateful. This truly has been a blessing in disguise. After moving to the Maryland Baker program, I really took the time to work on myself. I'm a completely different person. The Maryland Baker program has impacted me in a way that made me look at life in a different light. And I never want to take that for granted again. I started going to meetings, and little by little, I started to open up more and tell my story. And by doing that, I was helping so many of the women, and they were helping me. I realized that I don't have to be ashamed of my past. My past doesn't define me. It's what's making me strong today. I finally forgave myself for the mistakes I made. I started to heal, and most importantly, I started to love myself like I never loved myself before.
And granted, yeah, she has a really bad case, like letting your child into your stuff, but she does seem remorseful. She's taking accountability, and it's just a really sad situation. So at least she seems like she's doing pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
I am thankful to have experienced this time in New York City because I now appreciate life on another level. I can now go home and love my kids and family correctly the way they truly deserve. I can actually be present in their lives and be proud to be their mom. I've used my time in Maryland Baker wisely. I learned my triggers, also learned new coping skills I can use in the real world. I worked on my attitude, how to view things in a different perspective. I now could turn a negative into a positive. I've attended SMART recovery, self-esteem, and meditation groups. I've completed New Thoughts, Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3, and Grief and Loss. I've completed the whole Maryland Baker program as of yesterday. I am currently in CCAR program to be a certified recovery coach, all while still going to school and meetings every week. Since my incarceration, I've managed to stay out of trouble. I am so thankful. My family never left my side when they had every right to. They have supported me each step of the way. If God's willing, I plan on staying with my father. When I go home, my main goal is to always make my recovery my first priority. I understand that staying sober and healthy requires daily efforts, so I plan to take things one step at a time. I want to stay grounded by continuing to attend 3 or 4 meetings a week. They will help me keep me accountable and connected to a supportive community. I also plan to volunteer as a recovery coach in CCAR, giving back and helping others who are struggling, and not only supports their journey but also strengthens. In addition to focusing on my recovery, I also want to invest in my future by continuing my education and working towards starting a trade. Developing new skills will keep me grounded and closer to a better version of myself. I am ready to be a contributing member of the society.
So again, it's a really sad case, but out of a lot of people I see, she seems like she's very genuine. So let this be a lesson and just do better next time because she seems like she's doing pretty good and it seems like she's on the right path.
That it, Mr.
Okay.
All right. So first off, can you go back, because I'm not that fast of a writer, to that part in your statement where you said started with smart recovery, new thoughts, 1, 2, 3, and
Okay, so since being in New York, I go to school, and I finished New Thoughts.
what you wrote. I'm interested in what you wrote because you had smart
Okay.
recovery,
Okay,
then
so
new thoughts, 1, 2,
Yeah.
3, and
Yep, so Smart Recovery, New Thought Stage 1, Stage 2, Stage 3, and Grief and Loss. I've completed them all. So as of yesterday, yep.
grief and loss. Grief and
Yep.
loss. And then you said Marilyn Baker.
Yeah, I completed the whole program as of yesterday.
Okay, and now are you in the aftercare part? Or are you still in the Marilyn Baker compound?
Yeah, so I am still in the Marilyn Baker program because I'm taking CCAR.
Okay.
Yep.
So are you in the RCA or are you on to the professional piece?
I just started 2 Fridays ago, so I'm still in the beginning.
Okay. So you're in the RCA. And then you're in the GED program as well,
Yep.
right? How far along?
So unfortunately, I haven't scored high enough to be able to take the test. So right now, I'm just still taking classes. Yeah.
So don't give up on that though.
Yeah, I'm not.
Right? So even when you come out, find some strategies so that you can get that accomplished. That'd be a really
absolutely.
good thing. Okay. So then school, and then you said meetings. Talk to me about what meetings are you going to?
So I go to NA meetings. I actually co-chair WFS right now.
Yep.
I've gone to ARM.
Okay. So
CODA meetings.
So after you said NA, what did you say that you're co-chair?
WFS. Women for Sobriety.
What? Okay. Yeah. Okay. So NA, Women for Sobriety, ARM, CODA. What else?
Yep. That's the only meetings they got right now. Yeah.
All right. So that's good. What do you? I'm going to talk about that. I'm doing this a little backwards because I wanted to make sure that I got down everything that you've done because I know there's a lot of ancillary things that you can do when you're in Marilyn Baker. So that's great. You've done some really good stuff.
Thank you.
I know that you talked about it, but the offense here is, and you expressed concern here. You really did. But can you talk a little bit more about this offense? So there was a straw.
Yeah, okay, so I had relapsed. I relapsed, and I was staying with my father at the time.
And just real quick, you said you relapsed. You had a period of recovery?
Yeah, so after I had my daughter, yeah, I was clean for about 10 months. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Then I relapsed, and I was laying down with my daughter. I forgot that I had the stuff in my pocket, and the straw fell out my pocket. And when me and her were playing on the bed, she must have found it. I didn't realize that it fell out of my pocket. And she put it in her mouth. But mind you, when I first found her, I didn't know that yet. So she's like watching cartoons on my phone, and I look at her, and she's just like flat down on the bed. So I'm like, okay, come on. I'm thinking she's tired. She fell asleep. So I'm going to flip her around to change her diaper. And when I grab her, I noticed immediately that something was off.
Yep.
So I started freaking out. I called the ambulance immediately.
Okay. So you see how.
Yeah, this shit is heartbreaking. You know, it's hard to hear something, especially if you have children. But yeah, that's sad, and I'm glad she's learning from it, and I'm glad she's becoming a better person. But this is a serious thing. I'm glad that she's seeing how serious it was.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's yeah.
Yeah, I know. And I never want that ever to happen again.
Unfortunately, sometimes it takes where we are to figure that out.
Yep, absolutely. I am blessed to be here today. And I'm so thankful that she's alive and healthy and so smart. She's so smart.
Do you get to see her video or?
So they bring her here.
Okay.
So I've
How
seen.
much time?
They bring her when they can. So
Okay.
since the case is about to close right now, they haven't brought her in like 2 months, but they were bringing her like twice a month.
Okay. And when you say the case closed, talking
So
about
because
parole?
yeah, so I guess they can't keep like the DCF case open for a certain amount of time.
Okay. Yeah, we don't have to go for it. Okay. So let's now that we're there, let's go back to the program. So interested in a few other things. So smart recovery. What do you think? Realistic
yeah.
solution?
They get deep into it. Like we have to write.
Go ahead.
We have to write letters. We have to speak about our trauma and the things that we've been through.
Okay.
There seems to be really good programs at these prisons that these parole boards are at, because, to be honest, every single one of them that really goes through and does it the right way, they seem like they're getting a lot out of it. So obviously these classes are working, and to be honest, I agree with you.
A lot with smart recovery out here as well. It's a real life situation that people face in everyday life, and then what is the next right thing to do, or what are my options here, right? Not like a compulsive kind of just do whatever it is that's the first thing in your mind, right?
Yeah.
So that's good stuff. And then new thoughts. It's great that you've gone through that. Marilyn Baker, what do you think? What module in Marilyn Baker really made a difference for you the most?
Oh my God. When I first got there, I was like, what is this? Because of the way it's set up, like all the bumps and stuff. But then I'm like, you know what, let me give it a chance, and let me give myself a chance. And the counselors there, they're so amazing, and they actually care, what you have to say and what you're going through. And the women there, they're so amazing. and we help each other. It's a community.
So, and you know that community exists out here as well, right?
Yep. Yes.
And where do you find that community out here?
Well, and when I go out in the when I get out, right? Well, obviously I could go to meetings. I could continue C-car on the outside.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about Recovery Coach?
I think it's amazing that they do that here, and I think it's real important. Not only to help myself, but that I could help others also that have the same struggles that I do.
Do you have a coach?
Never before.
No. Do you have a coach now?
Oh no, not yet. No.
Okay. Is that's part of the plan?
Yep.
Because that's the thing. When you step out, successful reintegration, going back into the community, right?
Right.
Having somebody there with lived experience is important.
Right? Yeah, very important. Yeah.
So what you don't want to do is have something happen, stuff goes sideways, you don't have anybody there.
Right. Yeah. That's why I'm make sure I continue going to meetings on the outside, and I'm gonna continue C-car on the outside so I could be around that positive community and they could keep me grounded.
Okay. And good job, no DRs during your time, right?
No.
And you want to sponsor to your dad?
Yep.
Yeah. And you know that there's a C-car Recovery Community Center in New Haven, right?
Yep.
Okay. And you, when you said you want a new trade, were you talking about CNA or were you talking about something else?
I'm still like...
I hate to burst your bubble, but CNA? No. Why are we suggesting CNA for her? I mean, I'm glad she's doing good and everything, but, there was just a child with a straw, and, I don't think she needs to be a CNA right now. I think she should try something different.
One, so I'm going to cosmetology, or I want to get my CNA license. I don't know which one, but maybe both.
Okay. Certainly can do that. All right.
And I want to absolutely finish school also. That's like my biggest one.
Yeah. Just make sure you prioritize things so that you don't get overwhelmed, right?
Right. My recovery first, always.
That's the most important thing. The other stuff
Absolutely.
will sort itself out. You lose that first one.
Without my recovery, I can't do anything.
Okay. And so that's really all I have. Let me see if other board members have other questions. Board Member Keys, any questions?
Just a couple. I see that you're currently on the MAP program as well. Is that something you've tried in the community before, or is it your first?
So I was on methadone on the outside for a little while, not too long, but I'm currently going down to get off of it.
Okay.
Like I don't want it to be like something long term that I like, I just feel like it's a crutch, not something to like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you wean off it and start to struggle, what will you do?
Well,
and that is an amazing question. During withdrawals, what are you going to do? That was an amazing question.
So that's why I'm taking it slow. Real slow right now.
Do you think that if you're not off it at the time of release, would you continue in the community and then continue to wean off of it, you think?
I probably will, but really slow. So like here, I went down twice. I was on 90. I'm on 70 right now. I haven't gone down in a month again yet. So I want to take it as slow as possible. And I know that once you get lower, I think they do even 1 milligram at a time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Certainly I would follow the advice of the people in there, but I would think going slow is an excellent plan, but if you want to be released, to continue that, but monitor and ask for help. If you start to notice anything, don't wait till
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I appreciate the goal of wanting to be off it, but you need to make sure that you keep yourself level when you're going to face some challenges, of course. When you were on probation before, excuse me, I know they referred you to several programs and kept trying different things, and there were issues with each, and you were still testing positive and things. And I know this is obviously before what happened, and hopefully that was a good turning point for you. But how do you plan to address your relationship with your probation officer moving forward?
So the last time I was on probation, that was like a rocky time for me. I have like successfully finished probation before, but this time I'm really like determined to just do what I have to do, because I would hate to not be able to be in my kid's life. They mean the world to me, but not only am I doing this for them, but I'm doing it for myself first.
Yeah. I think if you're noticing you're struggling with anything, housing, a job, sobriety, anything, reaching out to them and asking for assistance and support will go a long way. As opposed to hiding or just not participating, not engaging. In terms of, I guess another one, transportation. If you're able to go to New Haven and there are programs around, do you have available transportation? Are you comfortable taking public transportation?
Yeah, so my dad, that's what my dad's there for. He'll bring me anywhere I need to go. He's the best.
Okay, and then be willing to take public transportation if you need to, if he can't bring you somewhere? Okay.
Absolutely.
And I did see when you were talking about your reentry plan, you were talking about not dating, staying single and everything. And I did see a pattern in your history going back from high school and different things where it seemed relationships, when things would kind of go sour, seemed to be a trigger of where then it could lead to just became a ripple effect, and it would lead to other things. And so I did just want to touch on seeing that pattern, but thinking that it may be good to engage with counseling in the community too. So at some point, I do think staying single in the beginning is a great idea, but at some point you may want to have a relationship, but having an existing relationship with a counselor that could then help you and monitor how this is going and make sure that it's a healthy relationship, and then whatever happens in the relationship, you're processing it.
And that's why they say wait a year, maybe 2 years before you get back into relationships or anything. Like right now, you're just fighting to keep away the thought of using. So you might as well not get into a relationship. That's just going to mess up your head of steam.
Working with some other things.
So I absolutely want to take therapy when I leave also. That's something I want to give a chance. And I know that in the future I'm going to date again, but for right now, like, I just want to focus on myself first, because I feel like men are my downfall.
Yeah. I think that's excellent. Yes, I think addressing counseling for everybody, I think, is a great idea, but particularly when you're going through something that you've been through, and then also trying to sustain sobriety, I think it's a wonderful plan. I think you have some good plans, so thank you very much. That's all I have for questions. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Board Member Barry.
Thank you, Sir Chair. So, Ms. Torres, I just, based on the discussion that you've had with my colleagues, I just have 2 follow-up questions, I think. So, you spoke with panel member Keys about the methadone program and that you're currently on that. Did you say that you did that before in the community?
So, yeah, I was on it for a little while. Yeah, before I came in.
What happened?
So, after I had my daughter, I was on it for a while, yeah.
Why'd you stop taking it?
I didn't. I continued it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were on the MAT in the medicated assistance program and using? Is that what you're telling us?
So it was like I was on the methadone program for a while, not using. But then like that last month, I did relapse.
You were using while on the medicated assistance?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what caused the relapse?
I was going through a lot with my daughter's father, and I don't want to put
All of your business
blame
out
on
there,
him.
but
Yeah, I don't want to put blame on that, because what I did is what I did, and that's just period. But I was going through a lot with him, and I just feel like I was just so frustrated that I was doing everything by myself. I didn't have any help at all. But also, I was kind of pushing people away also. So, like my family, I was pushing them away. So now I know to just receive the help and not be ashamed to ask for help when I need it.
so I'm just going to offer you a little advice, and you don't have to take it, but if the methadone program is working for you, I would suggest that you continue or that you speak it. I mean, sometimes we get in our head that, we don't want this medication, we don't want to be.
Yes.
But if it helps, forget about the stigma associated or whatever your mind is telling you about it. And if it works, stick with it.
Right.
I mean, you can't continue to try to do things your way and think that you're going to be successful. If it's working, let it work until you're strong enough mentally and physically to refrain from using drugs. Yes. Life is going to life, Ms. Torres. It just is. There's nothing we can do. And when you know that you're addicted to a substance, you can't continue to use that as your coping mechanism, or you'll find yourself right back in prison. And so that's why I said what I said. It's important that you try to do the things that work, regardless of what everybody else has to say. If it works, do it.
Yeah, and I love that you said that. And I'm not, I do in the future want to get off, but I'm not in a rush to get off of it. When the time is right and when God wants it to happen, but I'm still going to continue it for now.
Because the drugs that you are doing, they're really hard habits to kick. We see people in prison 20, 30 years, So, I mean, honestly, if it's going to help, that's all I can say. But anyway, that's it. Thank you, Sir Chair.
Thank you. Board Member Barry. So where I am is this. Ms. Torres has gone through and done a great deal of work while she's there. I think she is keenly aware of the why she's there and how fortunate she is, and how fortunate her daughter is. She's gone through and done a great deal of programming regarding substance use and other new thoughts. She's working towards bettering herself. She has a release plan that to sponsor to her father.
I don't think that was confirmed, Sir Chair.
Did not?
Yeah, weren't able to get in contact yet. Yeah.
Well, we're getting to the end of this. She ended up getting granted parole and everything, but as I always say, stay blessed and stay free. And in this case, I hope she does good, and I hope she keeps up with sobriety and doesn't change when she gets out, because to be honest, she's on the right road, and she can keep this up. She can really succeed in life. So I hope she does good.
That's in the works, but we'll look at alternatives as well. And in New Haven, there's a good C-Card Recovery Community Center. She wants to participate in 12-step recovery, get a sponsor. We talked about a recovery coach. She very specifically stated without prompting that her recovery is first, and anything that she puts in front of that, it's not going to turn out well. So I would support her parole in this case, and look to have input. Board Member Keys, any